Hello and welcome to my March Smart Trading Monthly newsletter. The markets have stalled a little bit this month and I have had a few stops hit with my daily swing trading system. But that's what usually happens. I get stopped out of trades with my swing trading system and I move into new trades. And there have still been plenty of choices available to continue adding trades to my portfolio. And I'll give you an update on some of the trades that I shared with you in my past newsletter videos. But before we get started, I just need to remind you that I'm not licensed to provide any personal investment advice. This video and all the charts and trades I share are for illustrative purposes only, and I'm just showing you how I view the current market and sharing this with you. So let's head on over to Metastock and check out what's been happening in the markets. Now, as you know, I've migrated to Metastock version 15. So this is version 15 and I have on the screen the ASX 200 chart open. Now the Aussie market has continued rising up. We've still got the market making higher lows and higher highs. And this 30-week moving average line that I have on my charts is still rising. If we go to the daily chart, there has been a little bit of a pause in the market over the past month. We can see where it had its highs up here. It's had a nice pullback and it's made equal highs around here right now. So it is starting to continue to still move up, but we have a little bit of consolidation occurring at the moment. If we're going to continue rising, we want to see a push through this level here and a new higher high being made. Otherwise, we might just move into a consolidation zone between these two higher peaks and this support area that's been created from the dip in between, and also where there's been some touches from the past as well. So it's provided resistance to the share price previously and it's provided support recently. Let's have a look at what the US markets have also been doing over the past month. Here's the S&P 500 in a weekly chart, and as you can see, the US markets have still been rising in this nice upward channel. If I go to the daily chart, you can see while we have been stagnating, the US markets haven't been stagnating that much and have mostly been rising with a little bit of a pause in there. They always say that we mirror the US markets, but we don't really. The Aussie market is heavily made up of resource stocks. So resources do affect our market in a big way. And if resources are falling, that will drag our market down, even if other markets are rising. So if you see a drop in oil prices, gold and other precious metals, that can drag our market down as well. Now, in previous newsletters, I have shared a few trades with you, so I want to give you an update on how they're going. I'll just close this down. Now, here's a chart here of Resolute Mining. Now, last newsletter, I shared this open trade with you. I had entered into it on the 18th of January when it came up in my daily swing trading system. I ran a market scan across the market that day. This share came up, it met all my trading rules, so I entered into it. It continued to move very nicely, and so did my trailing stop loss. And then wham bam, it had a very strong gap and it hit my stop loss and I was simply taken out of the trade. And the goal of my daily swing trading system is to take a chunk out of an already trending share. I'm going to be in and out with the daily charts. I'm never going to stay in for the long-term trend of the share. That's what my weekly long-term share trading system is all about, that I also trade. And the whole goal of this is to keep my losses small. So this share has now had quite a strong pullback, but I'm not in it anymore and I've taken some small profits out of this trade. So I held that trade for 41 trade days. I made a 60% return on the margin amount because it was a 10% margin trade and 6% on the total trade size. So if this was a share trade and there was no margin involved, it would have been a 6% return. And a 0.38 R multiple. So if you do track R multiples, that's what my R multiple is on this trade. And that's something that I teach my clients. So moving on to the next trade. This is Lynas Corporation. And as you know from my previous newsletter, I bought into Lynas on the 25th of November. Lynas moved up nice, slow and steadily, and so did my trailing stop loss indicator, which is this blue line that I have underneath the chart of the share. As it rises, I adjust my stop loss with my CFD provider, and eventually it will get hit and I will get taken out of the trade. Either that or certain conditions occur as per my trading plan to warrant me exiting before the trailing stop loss is hit. These are all things that I cover in my mentor course. So Linus moved nice and slow and steadily, and then it really took off when it moved above 10 cents. Now the reason why it moved so strongly once it got above 10 cents is because it moves in half-cent increments. While a share is below 10 cents, it only moves in 0.1 cent increments, and once it gets above 10 cents, it moves in half-cent increments. So it really took off, then it fell back, and looked like it was going to get some support around this 10-cent level, but unfortunately it did not, and my stop loss was hit. So I held that trade for 102 days. It was a 42% return on the total trade size, and as this one required me to outlay a 15% margin, I made a 273% return on the margin, and it was a 1.9R multiple win on that one. So that's one of the other trades that I have closed out that I had shared with you previously. Now here's another trade that I still have open and running. So I shared this one also in my February newsletter. I opened this one up on the 21st of February when it came up in my daily swing trading scan, and it has moved up slowly and steadily, and so has my stop loss. I now have my stop loss beyond my break-even level, so that means if the stop is hit, I won't take a loss on this trade now. Hopefully it continues to move higher, and my stop loss will continue to move higher also. So I'll keep you updated on what pans out with this one. Moving on to another trade. In my January newsletter, I shared with you a weekly trade that I had open and running. Now, as I mentioned last newsletter, it's not something I'm going to update you on every single month, but every few months I'll show you how that trade is going. Because the goal of my weekly long-term system is for me to stay with the long-term trend of the share following the weekly charts and having a stop loss trailing on the weekly charts. I want to get into those shares that are starting to become healthy, and I want to stay with them while they are healthy for as long as they're healthy for. I'd like to stay with shares for a year, 2 years, however long those long-term trends are going to go on for. That's the difference between my weekly system and my swing trading system. The long-term weekly system is all about having that wider stop loss, using weekly charts and sticking with the long-term trend, where the daily swing trading system is just taking a chunk out of an already trending share. So just taking that swing move and getting out, and it will have that shorter hold time. So I entered into this just before Christmas on the 21st of December when it broke above $30, had started to come up in my weekly trading systems, which is something that I run a scan across on the weekends. Came up, I liked what I saw, so I entered into it, and that trade is still open and running at the moment. So that's an update on all the trades that I've shared with you in my January and February newsletters, and I have plenty of other trades open as well, because as I move out of trades, I move into new trades. And I have provided a longer detailed video update of all my trades to my mastermind clients, because they're the ones that I share everything with. And if you are interested in becoming a mastermind client and learning all about my trading systems, my Smart Trading Mentor course is available for you. And that's the course, the Smart Trading Mentor course, where I teach all my trading systems and strategies. And I do everything in Metastock, as you know. And the good news is I have upgraded my Maximising Metastock course to version 15 now. So that course is also available on my website. So if you have been thinking of upgrading to version 15 and you have been waiting for that, I wanted to let you know that it is now available. So if you are using a previous version of Metastock, say version 10 or 11, and you want to upgrade to version 15, you can do that. And Oracle traders have a special offer available until the end of April, which I have information on in my newsletter email that came out with this video. And here are the contact details for Oracle traders. They have the Metastock Australia website set up, so that's metastockaustralia.com.au. The version of Metastock that I use is Metastock version 15 DC, and they have a trader's kit available with local data. Now, as a client of mine, you will receive free upgrade to Snapshots data. So if you do purchase Metastock version 15 online as an upgrade, or you're starting fresh and buying it for the first time, then make sure you email them and let them know you're a client of mine, and you will be upgraded to those Snapshots data, which means you will get hourly downloaded data available to you. And if you have any questions on Metastock, please don't hesitate to contact Oracle traders. They are very helpful, and they'll also help you get Metastock set up on your computer. If you have a previous version of Metastock, say version 11, and you migrate to version 15, there is a migration utility tool that comes up when you download it. Make sure you go through all those steps because it will take you through and migrate all your previous setups from version 11 into version 15. The only thing that won't go across is the link to local data, and you will lose your favorites because favorites don't exist in version 15. But instead of favorites, they have custom lists. And I have in my Maximising Metastock course information on how to set all of that up, and I take you through that step by step. And don't forget my book Smart Trading Plans. If you haven't written a trading plan for the stock market, I can't stress enough how important that is. My book is a step-by-step guide to developing a trading plan, and that's available on my website or in Kindle version from Amazon. And if you haven't visited my website before, make sure you check it out. And don't forget to download my free special report, and you will discover the top 10 mistakes that new traders make in the market. So that's my update this month, and I look forward to sharing more with you. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My contact details are in the Contact Us area of my website. Goodbye for now.